Watch a deer drink from a muddy, stagnant puddle, thick with bacteria, parasites, and animal waste. It doesn't hesitate, it doesn't get sick, it just drinks and walks away completely fine. Now imagine a human drinking from that same puddle. Within days, maybe hours, that person could be facing violent illness or worse. So here's the real question. What is it about dirty water that seems to threaten humans specifically, while wild animals appear to drink from the exact same sources their entire lives without consequence? The honest answer starts by admitting something uncomfortable. The question itself is built on a myth. Animals are not immune to dirty water, not even close. One of the most common waterborne parasites in the world, Giardia, is nicknamed beaver fever precisely because beavers are one of its most common carriers and spreaders. Wildlife disease linked to contaminated water is a massive, ongoing cause of death across nearly every ecosystem on Earth. We simply don't see most of it. Sick and dying wild animals don't post about it. They quietly disappear into the grass, the reeds, the undergrowth, while the healthy ones keep drinking at the same watering hole day after day in plain view. So if animals aren't immune, why does the illusion persist? Part of the answer is local immunity. Most wild animals drink from the same handful of water sources for their entire lives, generation after generation. Their immune systems become finely tuned specialists, primed against the specific local strains of bacteria and parasites they encounter every single day. Humans experience a version of this too. It's the same reason travelers get sick from local water, that residents drink safely their whole lives. It's not that the water is uniquely dangerous, it's that the traveler's immune system has simply never met that particular local strain before. Before we continue, if this kind of question is the kind of thing you enjoy thinking about, consider subscribing and sharing this with someone who'd find it interesting too. Now let's keep going. There's a second piece to this puzzle. Some of the deadliest waterborne diseases in human history aren't general threats to all animal life at all. Cholera and typhoid, for example, are pathogens that evolved specifically around the human gut and human waste. They spread efficiently through crowded human settlements, with contaminated water supplies, a very particular set of conditions. In the wild, without dense human populations and human sewage feeding the cycle, these specific pathogens simply don't have the same opportunity to spread the way they do among us. Here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Once humans settled into permanent villages and cities, we didn't escape this problem. We actually created a more dangerous version of it. Dense populations living near shared water sources, without modern sanitation, turned rivers and wells into highways for human-specific disease on a scale wild animals never experience. Ironically, the very same civilization that increased our exposure to concentrated waterborne disease is also what eventually solved it, through sewage systems, water treatment, and germ theory. In other words, we didn't inherit a dirty water problem from nature. We partly built it ourselves and then spent centuries engineering our way back out of it. And when the balance does break down in the wild, the results can be dramatic. In parts of southern Africa, hippo populations have suffered mass die-offs from anthrax spread through shared river water, sometimes killing dozens of animals at a single watering hole within days. Waterfowl die by the thousands during outbreaks of avian botulism in contaminated wetlands. These events rarely make headlines the way human outbreaks do, but they are a stark reminder that the natural world isn't immune to dirty water either. It simply pays the price differently and largely out of sight. There is a real biological piece to this too. Many wild animals have shorter digestive transit times and notably strong stomach acid, both of which give pathogens less time and a harsher environment to establish an infection. Scavengers in particular, like vultures, have stomach acid strong enough to destroy bacteria that would be lethal to almost any other animal, including humans. But this trait varies enormously across species. It's a partial advantage for some animals, not a universal shield for the entire animal kingdom. So dirty water doesn't spare animals because they're invincible. It spares them, when it does, through a combination of local immune familiarity, pathogens that are simply built for a different host, and a kind of quiet survivorship we rarely get to witness. Humans, meanwhile, built the one environment on Earth uniquely capable of turning water into one of our own greatest threats: dense cities, without dense enough defenses to match, at least for a while. The real story was never that nature is safe and we are fragile. It's that safety in nature and in civilization alike is something that has to be earned, one invisible battle at a time. Not to give you answers, to reveal the paradox. Every question has a story. Welcome to Human Mystery.